Hello, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this trendy Ankara baggy trouser with elastic waistband. Firstly, we'll be cutting the front part. To get the fold I needed, I divided my hip measurement by 4, then added extra 7 inches to it. You can add anywhere between 3 inches to 7 inches or even more if you want it to be bigger. Next, I wrote a line on top of the fabric to serve as a starting line. On this line, I'll go ahead to take my vertical measurements. The width of the elastic waistband I'm working with is 1.5 inches, so I placed my tape 1 inch above the starting line. The remaining ½ inch will be used to join the trouser to the waistband. So now, placing my tape 1 inch above the starting line, I measured down to my crotch depth or crotch length, which is the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches. Same way, I marked down to my hip line and squared the line across as shown. Next, I measured down to my trouser length plus 2 inches for hemming allowance. I wrote the line and cut it out just so it could fit on the screen. Next, I marked the crotch extension. To get your crotch extension, divide your hip measurement by 4, then divide whatever you got by 4. The front crotch measurement always ranges from 1.9 inches to 2.9 inches. For this trouser, I made use of 2.5 inches. I marked this on the crotch line and on the waistline and connected the lines. On the waistline center front, I marked 0.375 inch and slanted to the hip line, then went ahead to curve out the crotch extension like so. Now for the waist shaping, it should be at least wide enough to size your hips. Since there won't be a zipper, you can either leave the waist as it is, but in this case, I shaped the waist with 1 inch and curved to the hip as shown. This is it. I won't be shaping the legs further because I want it that wide. Then I went ahead to cut it out. For the pockets, I marked 1.5 inches on the waistline and 7 inches downward. For the back pattern, I folded my fabric making sure it's at least 3 inches larger than the front fold. That is the hip measurement divided by 4 plus 7 inches and plus 3 inches. Then I placed the front pattern on top like so. You should have at least 1.5 inches space on the waistline. I marked up 1 inch from where the front waistline stopped to further extend the back crotch length. I marked the same waist measurement as the front for the back. Please pay attention. I extended the back crotch and curved to the waist like so. I basically just added 2 inches from the crotch down to the hem and went ahead to cut it out. Next is to cut out the pockets. I folded my fabric into 4. The width of the pocket should be at least 7 inches and the length should be at least 10.5 inches. I curved out my pockets, but you can decide to leave yours straight. Now remember that I shaped my waist with 1 inch. I'm going to do the same thing for the sides of the pockets. Next, I opened up the pocket. The pocket is 2, 1 for each side. Place the 2 pockets right side facing. Then place the front pattern on it to trace out the pocket opening as shown. To stitch the pocket to the trouser, place them right side facing and join with a 1/4 inch, then top stitch. Then flip it over like this and stitch on the lower part. Please pay attention here. After sewing the pockets to both pieces, I took one side of the front and one side of the back and placed them right side facing. Then I joined them by the sides using 1/2 inch. After I was done joining, this is what it looks like. I did this for both pieces. Next, I flipped it right side facing and joined the inseam. I did the same for the other leg too. Next, it's time to connect the 2 legs of the pant together by joining the crotch together. To do this, I took one leg of the trouser and flipped it inside out. Then I inserted it to the other leg and matched up the crotch, making sure the seam joinings are aligning. Then I took it to the sewing machine and joined them. This is what it looks like after I was done. Next up, to get the waistband, I measured the round waist of the trouser perfectly. Then I cut out a long strap of fabric with the value I got from measuring the waist plus 1/2 inch for joining. For the elastic, cut it out as your waist measurement minus 3 inches. The elastic I worked with was 1.5 inches, so the fabric I cut out was 2.1 inches. I like to add a bit of an ease so that the elastic can sit properly. Just pay attention to the video. Now I joined the waistband as shown, then ironed the seam flat. Next I folded it like so, then I went ahead to sew off half an inch, creating the channel for the elastic to pass through. I proceeded to insert the elastic through the waistband. When it got to the end, I stitched the elastic close. I also ran 2 stitches on top of the waistband to keep the elastic in place. Then I placed the waistband on the trouser with the seam matching the back crotch seam and stitched it around. This is how it looked after I was done. I also hemmed the lower part, literally everything for making this trouser. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.